If you're into podcasts, it may seem that everyone around you is starting one. But the question is, should you do it too? I'm Mike Migas, and today I'll be talking about launching a podcast. But the focus will be on, is it still worth it? Podcasting is making news, and for people who listen or are somewhat interested, 2019 was a huge year, with companies such as Spotify making huge bets on the medium. And if you Google podcasting, you'll see articles from respectable sources talking about the best shows, what you should listen, and just making various podcasting predictions for coming years. That sounds amazing, but the question is, are we in podcasting bubble? Is it still worth investing in podcasts? At the time of making this video, the numbers say that there are hundreds new shows every week, and there are already hundreds of thousands available podcasts, and only a tiny percentage rises and stays at the top. On the other hand, you see celebrities, actors, TV and movie companies starting podcasts. So what's the deal? Well, in my opinion, the answer is twofold. One, the hype is real, but people don't realize how much effort it takes to produce podcasts. And two, it's still a medium that's quite easy to get into. Podcasting follows a simple road that any other medium walks. At first, there is hype and everyone flocks to that new medium, but they oversaturate the market. After a while, the bubble blows up and then the whole thing falls apart, reverts to the mean, majority of new players fall off, and only a tiny percentage persists. If we focus on the internet, you can see similarities in vlogging, blogging, Instagram, and now podcasting. All of these mediums favor good content, but also first movers. It's still possible to create a YouTube channel. That's what I'm trying to do right now, but it'd be much easier if I started 10 years ago. Going back to podcasting, yes, it'd be much easier if you started 10 years ago, even 4 years ago when Casefile started, because there just wasn't that much competition back then. And now suddenly you have that influx of corporate money, marketing becomes expensive and complicated, and it's just not as easy. So the question is, what should you do? Well, I don't think that podcasts are where YouTube's at in terms of oversaturation, and yet I'm starting my YouTube channel right now. So I think yes, it is a little bit harder to start and grow podcasts today than it was a few years ago, but it's not impossible. It just requires a little bit more planning and technical knowledge rather than just pressing that record button. It will become more difficult in the coming years though, as the industry matures, gets more regulated, and companies pump more money into the medium. So what I would do is to think why I want to start a podcast and then have a plan in place. Because if you just want to edit or produce podcasts, then that's a completely different conversation. And I actually think now it's the best time for audio producers. But if you want to be a famous podcaster and make loads of money like Tim Ferriss or Joe Rogan, then that goal alone may not be enough to sustain the work needed to produce a show. Still, like the saying goes, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, and the second best time to do it is now. That's it for today. I'm Mike from Mike Migas Production. If you enjoyed this video, share, like, subscribe, and I'll see you later.